My name is Amber. I'm 25 years old. And I'm about to tell you a story about the biggest betrayal of my life. You know, betrayal always comes from the people you love the most. And in my case, those people were my dad and my older sister Claire, the ones I considered my whole world, the ones I would do anything for. But what they did to me, it still breaks my heart to think about it. My family was always tight-knit. After Mum died, the three of us supported each other. Dad was a successful architect. Claire was an interior designer. And me? I was a teacher. Simple, normal life. Dad had a dream to open his own design firm, him and Claire together. They planned for years, saved up, and then finally, the day came when Dad announced the firm was opening. Girls, this isn't just my dream. This is our dream. The three of us will build this together. I was so happy. Finally, we'd all build something as a family. Dad said the firm needed capital. A lot of it. He put in his savings. Claire did too. And then Dad talked to me. Amber, you have some savings too, right? I did. I'd been saving for 5 years to buy a house, my own house. Small, but mine. How much do you have? Dad asked. Around 80,000, I said. Dad's eyes lit up. Amber, if you invest this money in the firm, it would help tremendously. And when the firm is successful, you'll get triple returns. Then you can buy an even better house. I was confused. Dad, this is my house savings. Claire took my hand. Amber, think about it. We're building a family business. This isn't just an investment. This is our family's future. I looked at Dad. There was so much hope in his eyes. Okay, I said. I'll invest. That day, I withdrew all my savings and gave it to Dad. $80,000. My entire dream of owning a home. Thank you, sweetheart. Dad hugged me. You don't know how much you've helped. The firm opened. Hayes Design Studio. Dad and Claire worked day and night. I helped too. On weekends. Holidays. After teaching. Months passed. The firm was doing well. Clients were coming. Projects were happening. One day I asked Dad, Dad, when will the firm's profits be distributed? I mean, when will I get returns? Dad smiled and said, Soon, sweetheart. The business is still getting established. Be patient. I was patient. 6 months. A year. 2 years. Then one day, I went to visit them at the office. Dad and Claire were in a meeting. I was waiting at reception. The receptionist didn't recognize me. She was new. Excuse me, who are you here to see? She asked. I'm Mr. Hayes' daughter, Amber. She looked confused. Oh, I thought Claire was his only daughter. She handles everything here. Only daughter? Something clicked in my mind. Can I see the company registration documents? I asked. I'm sorry, that's confidential. Then Claire came out. She looked shocked to see me. Amber, what are you doing here? Claire, I need to ask you something. She smiled nervously. Yeah, what is it? What's my stake in the firm? She froze. Stake? Yes, I invested 80,000. So what's my ownership percentage? Claire looked at Dad, who had just come out of the meeting. Amber, let's discuss this at home, Dad said. No, Dad. Now. Here. Tell me. Claire and Dad looked at each other. And then what Dad said pierced my heart like an arrow. Amber, you're not technically a partner in the firm. I was shocked. What do you mean? You gave us a loan, not an investment. We'll return the money to you. With interest. A loan? Dad, you said it was an investment. You said this was a family business. Amber, understand. You're not involved in the business. You're a teacher. This firm is Claire's and mine. You just helped financially. Helped financially? I gave you my house savings. I sacrificed my dream. People were staring. Claire grabbed my arm. Amber, please don't make a scene. Let's go home. I pulled my arm away. No. I'm not leaving until I see the documents. Dad's eyes went cold. Amber, you're overreacting. Show me the documents. Reluctantly, Dad had the receptionist bring the file. I looked. Firm owners. Robert Hayes, Dad, 60%. Claire Hayes, 40%. My name wasn't anywhere. Nowhere. How? How is this possible? My voice was shaking. Amber, when you gave us the money, you signed a loan agreement. Remember? Claire said. Loan agreement? I had. Yes. Dad had me sign some papers. He said it was a formality. Legal documentation. I'd signed them without reading. Because he was my dad. She was my sister. I trusted them. You betrayed me, I whispered. Not betrayal, Amber. This is business. You wouldn't understand, Dad said. I ran out of there, came home, and cried all night. My dad and my sister, they used me, took my money, broke my trust, and now they were telling me I was overreacting. The next morning, I made a decision. If they thought I was a fool, I'd show them just how much of a fool I really was. But first, I needed proof. All the proof. I went to a lawyer, Mom's old friend actually, Mr. Peterson, someone I could trust. Amber, what brings you here? He looked concerned. I told him everything. The investment, the loan agreement, the betrayal. He listened carefully. Do you have copies of the documents you signed? No, but I can get them. Get them, and bring them to me. Before I tell you what happened next, hit that subscribe button real quick. I went back to the office, but this time, I was smart. I went when Dad and Claire were at a client meeting. The receptionist recognized me now. Hi, I need to get some documents. My dad asked me to pick them up. She didn't question it. Gave me access to the filing room. I found my loan agreement. Made copies. But then I found something else. Something that made my blood boil. Financial statements. The firm was making huge profits. Way more than Dad had ever mentioned. And there were expense reports. Personal expenses. Charged to the company. Dad's new car. Claire's vacation to Europe. Home renovations. All paid by the company. My $80,000 wasn't just helping the business, it was funding their lifestyle. I made copies of everything and left. Mr. Peterson reviewed all the documents. Amber, this is worse than I thought, he said. What do you mean? The loan agreement you signed. It's vague. Very vague. It doesn't specify repayment terms, interest rates or timelines. This could be challenged in court. My heart started racing. Really? Yes. And these expense reports. If they're using company funds for personal expenses without proper documentation, that's mismanagement. Possibly fraud. What can I do? He looked at me seriously. You can sue them. For breach of contract, for your fair share of the business. But Amber, this will destroy your family relationships. I thought about it. My dad, my sister. Could I really do this to them? But then I remembered. They already destroyed our relationship. When they lied to me. When they used me. Do it, I said. File the lawsuit. The legal notice was sent to Dad and Claire a week later. Dad called me immediately. He was furious. Amber, what the hell is this? You're suing us? You left me no choice, Dad. We were going to pay you back. With interest. When? After another 5 years. After you've bought more cars and taken more vacations with my money. There was silence. You saw the expense reports, Dad said quietly. I saw everything. You used me, Dad. Both of you. Amber, please, let's talk about this. We're family. Family doesn't betray each other like this. I hung up. Claire tried too. She came to my apartment. Amber, please drop the lawsuit. We can work this out. How? By continuing to lie to me? We didn't lie. We just didn't tell you everything. That's the same thing, Claire. Amber, if this goes to court, it'll ruin Dad's reputation. The firm's reputation. Everything we built. Everything you built. With my money. That I thought was an investment in our family business. You're being selfish. I laughed. A bitter laugh. I'm being selfish? Claire, do you even hear yourself? She left. Angry. Hurt. But I didn't care anymore. The case went to court. It took months. The process was exhausting, emotionally draining. But Mr. Peterson was brilliant. He presented all the evidence. The vague loan agreement, the misuse of company funds, the lack of repayment terms. Dad and Claire tried to defend themselves, said I was a disgruntled family member, trying to extort money. But the evidence didn't lie. The judge ruled in my favor, not completely, but enough. I was awarded my $80,000 back, plus interest, plus a settlement for emotional distress and breach of trust. Total? Around $150,000. But more importantly, the court ordered an audit of the firm and found multiple instances of financial mismanagement. Dad and Claire had to pay fines, had to restructure the entire company, had to bring in external auditors. Their reputation took a hit. Some clients left. The firm struggled. And me? I took my money and finally bought my house. A beautiful little place with a garden. All mine. Dad tried to reach out. Months after the court case. Amber, can we talk? I agreed to meet him at a neutral place, a coffee shop. He looked older, tired, defeated. I'm sorry, he said, for everything, for using you, for lying to you, for making you feel like you didn't matter. I didn't say anything. I convinced myself that what we were doing was right, that you were better off not being involved in the business stress, that we'd pay you back and everything would be fine. But it wasn't fine, Dad. You broke my trust. I know. Tears filled his eyes. And I've lost my daughter because of it. You haven't lost me completely, I said quietly. But things are different now. You can't just expect me to forgive and forget. I don't expect that. I just want a chance to make things right, to rebuild what I destroyed. I looked at him, really looked at him, and I saw genuine remorse. It'll take time, Dad. A lot of time. I have time, he said, however long it takes. Claire reached out too, but it was harder with her. She still thought she'd done nothing wrong. Amber, you got your money. Why are you still angry? Because it was never about the money, Claire. It was about the betrayal. About you and Dad treating me like I didn't matter. We never said you didn't matter. You didn't have to say it. Your actions showed it. I was good enough to take money from, but not good enough to be a real partner. That hit her. I could see it in her face. I'm sorry, she finally said. I really am. I got caught up in the business, in the success, and I forgot what really mattered. Family. Family means treating each other with respect, I said. Not using each other. I know that now. Slowly, very slowly, we started rebuilding our relationship. It wasn't easy. There were arguments, tears, painful conversations, but there was also honesty. For the first time in years, Dad stepped back from the firm. Let Claire run it properly, with proper management, proper accountability. And me? I started my own small consulting business, helping other people who'd been financially taken advantage of by family members. Turns out, my story wasn't unique. There were so many others like me. One day, about a year later, Dad came to my house with an envelope. What's this? I asked. Open it. Inside were legal documents, partnership papers. Dad, what? 20% stake in Hayes Design Studio. Retroactive from the day we opened, with all the dividends you should have received. I stared at the papers. Dad, I don't want your guilt money. It's not guilt money. It's what you deserved from the beginning. What I should have given you from day one. Why now? Because I finally understand. What I took from you wasn't just money. It was your trust, your faith in family. And I can't undo that, but I can make sure it never happens again. I looked at him. I don't know if I want to be involved with the firm anymore, Dad. I understand, but the stake is yours. Whether you're involved or not, it's legally yours. You can sell it, keep it, whatever you want, but it's yours. Tears rolled down my face, not because of the money, but because finally, he understood. Thank you, I whispered. He hugged me. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, for everything. My name is Amber. I'm 25 years old, and this is how my dad and sister betrayed me, and how I made them face the consequences they never saw coming. They thought I was weak, naive, easy to manipulate. But they were wrong. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the strongest. Sometimes the one who trusts the most is the one who fights the hardest when that trust is broken. Dad and Claire learned that the hard way. And me, I learned that family isn't just about blood. It's about respect, trust, honesty, and anyone who can't give you those things doesn't deserve a place in your life, even if they're family.